What's up, everybody? Renfail here. Hopefully, you're doing well. The launch of Eternal Strands is upon us tomorrow, and it looks like the folks at Yellow Brick just dropped a launch map for us to take a look at, as well as a really informative post about everything we need to know ahead of the launch of their first ever RPG, which we're going to be playing here on the Xbox, and we're going to be streaming it live as always on YouTube and Twitch because I multi-stream in both places. Normally, my start times are around 6 a.m. Central Time, but of course, this game doesn't launch at 6 a.m. Central Time. So as soon as the game goes live, we will be getting it downloaded. And it looks like for us, since we're on Central, we'll be starting at 10 a.m. tomorrow. So for those of you who are wanting to watch me carry on my playthrough from the demo, you'll be able to watch me play through. I'm of course going to be starting from scratch because my progress doesn't carry over from the demo because I put the demo on the PC, but I'm going to be playing this on my Xbox. Anyway, these are the launch times. Let's dive into the blog post with all the information. I'll have a link to this. It's over at their Steam page. If you want to know more information, you want to read through this in, all of your spare time. So tomorrow, it says here, PC demo progress does carry over if you played it on Steam or EGS. There's a spec sheet if you want to know more information about that. If you're going to be picking it up, it's going to be 40 USD, 50 Canadian. It looks like English and French have voiceover and subtitles with Japanese, Brazilian, Portuguese, simplified Chinese, and German with subtitle support. There's a whole bunch of accessibility options in the game. You can play it on Steam Deck, although they aren't verified, and there's a bunch of information about like the YouTube links and everything else. But here's what you really need to know, they say. To help you get started in Eternal Strands, there's a list of a few handy early game tips and tricks. This information will all eventually be available in the game's tutorial panels as you progress, but we noticed during the demo that some of it was helpful to have going into the game. So here's a summary of some key points. During the prologue, it's the game's opening hour, so there's some linear exploration, tutorials, and cutscenes that introduce you to the story and world. You've got the base camp and the dialogue. The interesting thing about the dialogue I noticed was when you're talking to your Weaver band, the people that make up your party, who are your support team back at the base, there is like the talk option, which just is essentially fluff and just conversation stuff. But it's so nice to have a game that is fully voiced. So even though the quest dialogue options are clearly marked and those progress quests forward, it's nice to have lots of dialogue in between so that you can just have conversations with your team members, get to know them, and actually have a chance to flesh out the world a little bit more. So bear in mind, it does tell you in the game tutorial that the talk options don't progress you anywhere. It's just there for information in between quests, and it's sort of like reactionary dialogue. Says you can choose to speak to them and get to know them who they are, or you can skip this part and go straight into exploring the Enclave. There's also an autoplay dialogue option, which I turned on immediately. What that means is that instead of having to push a button to progress the dialogue to the next panel, it'll auto move you, and I highly suggest turning that on if you just want to have a seamless narrative experience. Base kit abilities start the game with sword and shield and bow and arrow. You also get access to the Ice Wall spell, and Weaver's Grasp. As you gather loot and defeat epics, you'll be able to craft new gear and weapons and weave new magic strands into your mantle. When you head out into the Enclave, you find a lot of loot right away. You're going to notice that your inventory space is limited, even though each type of loot does stack to 99. Every time you activate base camp, your loot is automatically deposited at your tent and your inventory is cleared. Then as you progress through the game, you're able to upgrade the station, Chasm Station, which grows your inventory space. I would highly recommend doing that as like one of the first things you do if you are going to be doing a lot of crafting. And there's some really unique crafting in this game for what I saw during the demo in terms of the types of materials and how they change the colors and the types of damage and the resists and everything. There's a lot of different things that you can put into crafting. So I'll be spending a lot of time on that for sure. And I definitely want to max out my inventory space as soon as possible. Note, it says we heard feedback in the demo that players would prefer their base inventory to be larger. This is something we'll be addressing in a future update. That's interesting. Base inventory being larger isn't really a big deal for me because I know I can upgrade it through gameplay, but if they're going to patch that, that's fine. Equipping gear and armor, you'll find crafting recipes on your expedition into the Enclave. If you open your map while exploring, you'll see small forging hammers in the areas where recipes can be discovered. I did not know that. I didn't see that in the demo. That's cool. So small forging hammers on the map are areas where recipes can be discovered. Sola can craft weapons and armors for you back at the base camp, and then you can switch your equipped gear. And by the way, you can only switch your equipped gear back at the camp. That was made very clear in the tutorial, so you can't switch it in the field. You have to make a decision before you go how you're going to equip yourself before you leave and head out. There's a parry system in the game which you can trigger with the right block timing on enemy attacks. By the way, I suck at that kind of stuff, which is why I will be playing on easy mode, which I do with most RPGs because I'm not good at parrying, so I like playing story first. Um, there is a target lock function as well as precision aim toggle for your bow and arrow. Okay, good to know. Fast travel teleportation. When you first go out to explore, you have to walk your way back to the base camp. But early on, you'll earn a loom shard from land, which then allows you to quickly teleport to base camp from anywhere in the enclave. Really cool. You have a compass, which could be toggled in your menus. You can also unlock the Weaver's Wisp navigation tool early in the game, which guides you to your next objective. If you find any bugs, it says here, you can use the known issues board to see if the team has already been made aware of it. Beyond that, if you don't see a bug listed, you want to report it, you can comment on their community hub. Quick commercial break, everyone, to celebrate and give thanks to all of these amazing people who keep me on the air full time. Really appreciate the support. All you got to do is join as a member. You get access to private videos. You can also do super thanks on any upload or super chats and stickers on any live stream or premiere you see. And beyond that, don't forget we're multi-streaming over on Twitch now, so you can support over there as well. Thanks so much to everybody. Let's get back to the video at hand. We're active on X, YouTube, TikTok, Blue Sky, Instagram, and Facebook. I could say that the team has already responded to some of the things I've shared on social media on Facebook and Blue Sky as well as X. So that's been great. I don't think I have shared stuff on Instagram, but I haven't tagged the team. So that's probably why they didn't react to anything on Instagram or TikTok because I haven't actually tagged them because I didn't know they had those accounts. So I'll have to make sure I do that when we're sharing future content. Says here, friendly reminder, we're a small but mighty self-publishing indie team with limited resources. We'll be working very hard to get back to everybody in a timely manner. This is going to be our main focus in the following weeks. However, depending on the volume of support requests, temporary delays in our response times to be expected, it's going to be launched. There'll probably be some things. Don't harass the team. They'll get back to things as they can. He says you can expect to see some members of our dev team streaming the game tomorrow on Twitch and Steam. If you want to spectate, learn more about the game's mechanics, or development process before jumping in, you can tune into our live stream at 11 a.m., which is when the game is going live, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central. But hopefully you'll be tuning into my stream because we're going to be live on YouTube and Twitch. Obviously, you can go tune into their stuff, but, I have a, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Come along for the ride. This is the first project from the Yellow Brick team. I know that a lot of people have been asking me when I was going to be playing this about a month ago because I teased it, man, I want to say like a year ago when I first saw the trailer. And when we finally got the release date, it was like, yes, I'm absolutely playing this. I've also heard, I saw some stuff on Twitter X today that like, depending on how you play, what difficulty level, etc., you could expect around, and I don't know if this is what I'm seeing. Expect around 20 to 25 hours if you're playing on story mode, and up to around 40 hours if you're going to be playing like completionist mode and like going normal. I'll be playing on story mode, so I'm expecting a 20-ish to 25-ish hour gameplay. We'll see. Honestly, we'll just wait and see how it goes. But we are scheduling to play this between the 28th tomorrow and February 3rd because I have to wrap it up by the 3rd because on February 4th, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 drops, and that's our big game leading up to Avowed. Those are the three big games we're playing throughout January and February. And then once we get into March, we've got Assassin's Creed Shadows, Atomfall, Tales of the Shire. There's also South of Midnight in April, along with Expedition 33 in April, and then we've got Doom: The Dark Ages, and probably some Sniper Elite Resistance in there and some other stuff. But in the meantime, lots of fun stuff happening tomorrow, 10 a.m. Central. As soon as this goes live, I will be playing Eternal Strands on YouTube and Twitch, so hopefully we'll see you there. In the meantime, stay safe, everybody. Happy gaming. See you guys in the next one.